welcome to this month's RC Racing and to Bangkok, where we'll be bringing you an IFMAR World Championship later in the season. But this month we have another World Championship from Holland, and in association with Team Orion, we present the ISTC Touring Car World. Well, qualifying was dogged by protests, wet weather, and talk of tyres, and, well, more tyres. But the one man happy going to finals day was Atsushi Hara.
This is just incredible. It's a lot of luck. It's the weathers, and it's, you know, this race have some the regulation problems like a new tire loose. And I just have zero experience for the rain race, so I just try to ask everyone how to make a rain setup, and also I look at the track and get it dry. So I try to mix it with the rain setup and also choose a tire, strict tire. And it just happened. This is my car. It's just perfect on the last one.
I mean, of course, everybody on new tires has an advantage, and we had a good car with new tires, so I was able to make a great pace and win both rounds. And even with the old tires, I found my pace really good.
The heat just before us had a dry track, almost dry track. And in our heat it started raining again, so we had absolutely no chance to improve our time. So I just talked with my Dutch team manager to just start a protest, because I think it's not fair, not only for me but for more people, that they didn't get a chance to have a fair run.
Sadly for Gilles, his protest was rebuffed, so he's left to make his point on the racetrack, and talking us through the A final is John Heinhoff.
That is our pole man. What a superstar of this sport. Atsushi Hara from Japan. Behind him, Ronald Volker from Germany. In third position, a man who learned to drive here some 20 years ago. That's the Dutchman, although living in the Far East now, Gilles Groskamp in the Team Orion Tamiya. Behind him, fourth, well, he's won just about everything, reigning champion as well for Marc Rheinard. Fifth is Victor Volker from Sweden. Another Japanese entrant, Naoto Matsukuro on the Yokomo in sixth. Christopher Krepp from Germany in the Kyosho Team Orion in seventh. In eighth, representing France and Yokomo, Loic Yasmin. And in ninth position, the HPI Hot Bodies machine of Brit Andy Moore. In 10th, at the back on the Schumacher, another Brit, Chris Granger. I'm expecting a lot from this first of the three finals. Atsushi Hara gets an absolute flyer from pole position and gets away from Volker in second. Groskamp still in third position, but looking to challenge through this very, very tight chicane and down the main straight. 65 miles an hour plus for these amazingly quick cars as they head across the line. Still Atsushi Hara leading. And he is actually looking very, very neat and tidy indeed. And from the pit lane, now this is very interesting. Keep an eye on what's going on the screen, but I'm hearing that Rheinard has pulled off. Marc Rheinard, the German champion, has pulled off at the pit lane, and he's not the only one, as Matsukura, Granger and Andy Moore have gone into the pit lane. Now this is very interesting. I'll explain in a moment why we think that has happened, but we've got a great battle for the lead, and it is still Atsushi Hara who's leading. Only one set of tyres allowed, as we're going to see a change for the lead. Oh my goodness me! That's a huge accident as Volker tried to go through, and you saw the air get underneath the second place car and completely flip him down the front straight. My goodness, that was the tiniest of touches between Atsushi Hara and Ronald Volker, but as soon as the air was underneath the Yokomo chassis, there was no coming back for Volker, and the German is out of it. Look at it again. Oh, that is a scary quick accident at 60 miles an hour, and that is going to be some work for the Yokomo team and for Ronald Volker, as Victor Volker's fought his way up from fifth into, on the grid, fifth to second place. Let me get the thought out about the tyres. Only one set of tyres allowed for the three finals here. And what Nick is telling me from the pits is that those drivers we've mentioned feel it's better to save tyres if they're not going to get a top result in this first of the three finals. Remember, best two results to count. They are going to play the tactical game. and have better tyres at the end of the meeting. They're rolling the dice on that because quite clearly everyone else has got a better opportunity now with 4 fewer drivers, but they're feeling if they're not going to get a top 3 position, then as Volker spins out there and leaves Atsushi Hara on his own, they feel that if they don't wear the tyres, they'll have a better opportunity in races 2 and 3. We'll have to see how that plays out, but for the moment, Atsushi Hara leads from Groskamp in 2nd place. And although he's based in the Far East now, Groskamp knows this place very, very well indeed. This was the first place he picked up the controller and learned the skills that have, well, really stood him very well indeed over the last 2 decades, and he's holding on to Atsushi Hara on the HPI Hot Bodies car, 1st and 2nd. This is interesting, of course, because these guys now, they are using tyres, and that means that they've got to get a good result. So do you think 1st and 2nd's good enough? Therefore, is there a little bit of horse trading going on between the Japanese and Dutch driver and saying, guys, we don't need to push too hard here? You can see they've got a very, very good gap between themselves and 3rd. Remember that if the points are level at the end of the 3 finals, the tie-break is the fastest individual race. So the other side of the coin is you go like hell in this front, the first race, ideally from the front, keep it clean, and whilst the tyres are undoubtedly at their best, you have the opportunity to put in the quickest race of the day. And that is what Atsushi Hara and Gilles Groskamp are doing at the moment. There's a couple of times that I might have thought Groskamp would have had a look down the inside, but at the moment he's following in the wheel tracks of the Japanese driver. And they are pulling out a bit of a lead. You can see just a slightly different line into that hairpin at the end of the very fast straight, and there is a chance to overtake, and that is smooth as silk and clean as you like. Fantastic overtaking manoeuvre, and what is most impressive about that is Atsushi Hara looks down the inside but can't quite get it done. He does this time with a bit more of a block pass, and I was going to say that they weren't really holding each other up with that battling, but now I'm not so sure, as Victor Volker and Ronald Volker are in the background now. I'm surprised Ronald Volker has rejoined. Is this the last lap, or is there going to be one more lap to go? The time is just about to expire. He's gone through. It's gone through, and that is the end of the race. Atsushi Hara and the other 2 drivers still racing, but the time actually elapsed just as they went across the line, and that means victory for Gilles Groskamp. Watch here, the time is ticking down. He makes a massive lunge and just doesn't brake for the corner, because that is the finish line. A second the other way and he would have thrown it all away, but as you see clearly there, he gets in front of Atsushi Hara and takes the victory. Possibly just using his local knowledge there, but that was a huge gamble for the Dutchman. Well, the Team Orion race results shows Groskamp from Atsushi Hara, Vilk, Volker, Krep and Yasmin for the top 6. The margin of victory just 13/100ths of a second, but just 0.2 of a second over the 5-minute race distance, and that is what made the difference for the winner.
Here's Groskamp. Well, that was all about the last 10 yards.
Exactly, yes. From the start, I knew I can't really catch them in the beginning of the race, but it's better for me for the second half of the race. So I just waited my chance, and I got by Hara and after 4 minutes mark, and for some reason I didn't take the chicane so nice, so he took me back on the end of the straight, but I just wanted to keep it clean till the end. And I knew I'm not gonna run an extra lap, so I just push hard till the line, and I guess that's my luck.
Leg number 1, you pull up after 1 lap. This is a massive gamble for you, surely? Yeah, I mean, from 4th I need to do something. I think if everybody's on new tyre in the beginning, I think I've not a big chance to fight with them. So we discussed it in the team before, and we said, okay, if there's no start crash from the first 2 in the first lap, I will pull in and hope for a second final. It is a hard gamble, but I'll take the pressure.
Well, will Marc's gamble pay off? You can find out after this. Welcome back to the 110th ISTC Worlds. Here's A final number 2 with John Hindhoff.
This second leg of the final, Rheinard, Matsukuro, Moore and Granger effectively with brand new tyres on. They barely did a couple of laps of that first one before they tactically pulled out. Atsushi Hara, second place from the first heat with Gilles Groskamp. Where's Reinhardt? Reinhardt's gone missing. And let's have a look. Where did the German go? Oh, there he is, turning it over in the first chicane. And that means the gamble of the first final has not paid off for the multiple German champion. And will there be a new name on the trophy this weekend, because he's not coming back from that. And that has massively opened the door for Atsushi Hara and Gilles Groskamp. Surely now one of these two must be in pole position unless Matsukuro can come through. So Atsushi Hara leads from in second place. That's Volker, isn't it, in second place. Then Groskamp. Matsukuro is in fourth position with those newer tyres and dives down the inside, but can't get the third position that he wants. Top four, though, absolutely has won. And again, the Japanese driver on the Yokomo chassis has a look as we're getting the battle for the lead now. Atsushi Hara in the lead, and there is the new third place driver. That bright yellow rear end tells me that Naoto Matsukuro has got up. I don't think he's making enough progress. I don't think he's making progress quick enough. That gamble of pulling out in the first heat of the final, first part of the final, is not paying off here already. It's all gone wrong for Marc Rheinard as we've got a new leader, and all of a sudden from first down to fourth in one swift fifth place as Atsushi Hara goes backwards. Now let's have another look at this. He looks fine here, gets a little bit sideways, loses the lead to Volker there. Here comes Matsukuro as he dives down the inside. That's a nice move. Then Gilles Groskamp goes through as well. So Atsushi Hara has dropped right out of it as Ronald Volker then leads from Matsukuro in second place. Gilles Groskamp up into third. Victor Volker, excuse me, in third place. And then I think Groskamp up into fourth position, or in fourth position. As I'm not sure what happened to Atsushi Hara there, but we're not accustomed to seeing that driver drop off form as quickly as he did. And the leading battle now has spread out just a little bit. And there is Atsushi Hara battling further back down the field. He's got Marc Rheinard behind him, who is still desperately trying to make that gamble pay off. We saw him flipped out at the first chicane on pretty much the first lap, and that's exactly what he did not want to happen. Atsushi Hara with a second place, remember. Best two finishes to count out of the three finals. Often we've seen this decided after two runs, and therefore the man who wins it drops out. I've got a feeling this is going to go the distance as Reinhardt and Hara come together. Atsushi Hara and Marc Rheinard. And clearly that was advantage gained, and that's why you saw the position given back. Smart move. But that means we get another chance to have a look at some more excellent battling here for the minor positions. What I'm not seeing is the massive advantage that I think the drivers who pulled out earlier on expected from having effectively a whole race new set of tyres. Remember, just one set of 4 tyres for the 3 parts of the final. And that was the gamble that those 4 drivers took, dropping out of the first 5-minute run. It's only 5 minutes, but you can see just how hard these guys are leaning on the tyres. Tarmac surface, very, very quick, and some fast corners and some hard braking areas too. 65 miles an hour plus down the main straight. I'm told it would have been something like 80 miles an hour had the chicane not been put in. Yah-boo and hiss, I think a lot of people said, but I can kind of understand why at that point we didn't want these cars doing 80 miles an hour actual speed, not scale speed, by the way. Now there is our leader, and in fact there is our winner, Ronald Volker, on the Yokomo as he crosses the line with 5 minutes elapsed and takes the second of the finals. And there are some unhappy drivers up on the podium. Well, the Team Orion race results makes for interesting reading. Volker from Matsukura, who started in 6th, remember, but with newer tyres. Then Volker, Hara, Chris Granger in 5th, and Marc Rheinard, well, his gamble didn't pay off at all, did it? Down in 6th position. Look down in 10th, Gilles Groskamp only completed 9 laps. Is he saving tyres for later on? Let's hear from the winner, Ronald Volker with Nick Damon.
It was a completely different final, as I think Nota and Marc went on new tyres and I pushed a lot, but I think Marc rolled it. And Hara was in the lead, but I was faster than him. But as Jillies and the other guys were closing me, it was so close. So I tried to pass him, and luckily there was no crash.
Well, the championship will go to the third and final deciding race, and from pole position, Atsushi Hara gets away. The permutations, while not quite endless, are very interesting. Hara, of course, has got a second place, so he's clearly got an opportunity. Gilles Groskamp has won a race, as has Ronald Volker, and Naoto Matsukuro has been second in a race as well. So really, you're looking at a battle between those four. It's not quite winner takes all, but it's not far away from that. Remember, if it's tied on race finishes, then the time, the fastest race time, will be the decider. That will be the tiebreaker. And let's have a look what's going on here. This was early on. This looks like, oh, goodness me, Ronald Volker there coming from round the outside on Marc Rheinard. And this time Rheinard stays on 4 wheels. And Ronald Volker, one of our race winners, remember, has taken himself out very, very early. I'm absolutely stunned by that. That was a very, very low percentage move indeed by the German on his countryman. And, well, we've lost one of our favourites. He was the second race winner here. That leaves Atsushi Hara out in front, and he needs to win this to have any chance at all. That's the simple part of his equation. Behind him is Gilles Groskamp. Now, Gilles doesn't need to win, but if he does, it's wrapped up. What he needs to do is to keep Atsushi Hara in sight in case there is any mistake by the Japanese driver. But what he is now at this point thinking about is how quick was I on brand new tyres in that first race. And remember, he played a blinder in that and went across the line just 0.2 of a second after the 5 minutes were up in a real do-or-die manoeuvre that would have left him with nothing had his timing not been absolutely perfect. 13/1,000ths of a second between himself and the Japanese driver. That's all that separated them in that first race. But he may be able to get this done on the track, and he's trying very hard at the moment as the Team Orion Tamiya in second place is putting pressure now on the Hot Buddies HPI of the Japanese driver that leads. Nobody else in it. Look at the gap, the full length of that long straight. And really, the only other driver in with a chance at this point is Naoto Matsukuro, and the Yokomo in, I think he's in third at the moment. I think I saw a flash of yellow. He's just disappeared actually for a moment as the leaders go through. Yeah, there he is, sitting in third place, but he's too far away to affect the result at the moment. He's got a second place to his name, as has Atsushi Hara. Gilles Groskamp sitting comfortably in second, I would say, at the moment. Atsushi Hara, champion in touring cars going back to the year 2000, of course. So knows his way around these vehicles and has made it absolutely clear to anyone who wants to talk to him this weekend. He feels that this is his weekend and he's got a chance of claiming back the championship that he won at the start of the century. Groskamp at the moment, for me, looking very, very cool, calm and collected. Now, he played a bit of a tactical game in the second race of the finals when he pulled out after just 9 laps, realising he wasn't going to better his win. He pulled out. The leader did 18 laps in that race, so effectively his tyres are 9 laps younger than the car ahead of him. Now, will that play a massive part in what we see in the end of this race? A pass here would seal it if Gilles Groskamp can hold on to it through the technical section again. These cars, these electrics, so quick through here. Down onto the start-finish straight, braking from over 65 miles an hour, backing them in to that tight left-handed hairpin. I think this is very interesting. Groskamp not really challenging, and I would say he's been in a position to do so at least a couple of times, and again there, he could have stuck his nose down the inside, and again there, he's forcing Atsushi Hara to defend, but then he's not pressing it. And this is fabulous tactics, because what he's doing is he's slowing Atsushi Hara down. He must be looking at the race clock. He timed it perfectly as they start the last lap. Remember, in race 1, it looks like Gilles Groskamp is not going to make a do-or-die manoeuvre. He must be convinced that the time is on his side as Atsushi Hara plays the Groskamp card across the line and goes full throttle without braking. But Gilles Groskamp feels he's done enough. We'll have to look at the time to confirm that, and he's got it. He's got it. Basically on count back, the do-or-dive manoeuvre from the first race has got him the championship by 13 hundredths. The Team Orion race result confirms then the win for Holland and Gilles Groskamp ahead of Atsushi Hara for Japan in second place. Ronald Volker taking the third step on the podium. But the score's tied after 3 race results, and the Tamiya Team Orion man, Gilles Groskamp, taking it on count back to race time by 13 100ths of a second. And a very happy Dutchman is with Nick Damon.
Jillies Groskamp, 2 years ago, we had pictures of you in tears at Bergdorf for the wrong reason. Today you're in tears for the right reason. Congratulations, world champion.
Thank you very much. I knew I can win this race. I just have to take it easy. And the third main, I knew Hara cannot make the faster time, so I just stay behind him. I think everybody can see I can drive faster, but I didn't have to go faster. So I was a perfect strategy, and it worked out. So it's amazing feeling. I cannot. I don't know what's going on now, but I cannot even feel I'm world champion. But I guess I am.
Congratulations to Jillies, and if you'd like to check out an in-depth interview with a Team Orion driver and Dutch superstar, head to www.rcracing.tv, where we caught up with the man at his home track in Thailand. See you next time.